And good morning. Happy Monday. Happy first trading week, the full week of August. Time is flying by so fast in the year 2025. Good God.
It is. I can't believe it's August already, and yet here we
Yeah,
are. It's time to go back to school for the kiddos.
yeah, pretty soon. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see. Do you think we're going to get this August slump over with sooner than later, or what's going on?
I think it was so rough for crypto last week. I think that it was like a vertical. Whenever the chart goes vertical to the upside, I say this is it. It's peaking. This is where you want to sell, and it's exactly the same way when it goes vertical to the downside. That's when you want to buy in. It's like this is the bottom. It's peak sentiment. So peak bearish sentiment is done, and it's time for the recovery to start. Um, and I think we're going to talk. We are going to do a triumvirate show tomorrow night. I already talked with Kat and Matt and I are all on board and very excited to bring you a very special edition of the triumvirate show tomorrow night, where we're going to talk about where we see ourselves in the medium and long term for the markets. Here's
Yeah.
a few. We're bullish.
Yeah, bullish longer term. I don't know if we're over this slump just yet, personally. I'm still looking at some of the charts with the SPY here. And I still think you might need a deeper back test a little bit first before continuing higher, simply because it didn't really back test any of the previous breakout levels just yet. And the cloud is over here, the 50-day moving average is over there, and all price is doing right now is coming back up to like the conversion line up here. So I think we're going to be just chopping in a range until it maybe gets closer to the cloud, maybe back test the 613 or so before going higher. But it's all part of the bullish process to get,
Well, it depends on what sector you're looking at, right? I mean, the
yeah,
SPY hit all time highs last week. They did great. It was
yeah,
crypto that was suffering the last 2 weeks as Bitcoin simply tested. It simply went sideways for 2 weeks, and that was enough to make everyone else, all the altcoins, get all shaky and then like plummet last week on
yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, so maybe Bitcoin, maybe maybe SPY, maybe QQQ, they just trade sideways or choppy down to sideways a little bit until they get more bullish again. But yeah, I still think at least a 613 target is for SPY personally. QQQ, I still think it's just going back up to resistance too, and I'm kind of looking at maybe in the 540s as a possibility for the QQQ before we're trying to go up higher. And the next resistance is the 578, 46 above. So it's just in a range as well. And IWM, yeah, I think this actually has potential to be at or very near the bottom. So perhaps there could be some kind of more rotation into risk on assets because not only that, this is the purple is my 200-day moving average, and it looks like price is going to gap up above it today, right? And that is at 216.14. Price is currently at 216.54. So staying above that would be a good idea, right? It would be just a beautiful breakout back test. And also last week it did back test that 618 fib. So this one does look at support. So we'll see if that trend can continue. I'll show my Bitcoin chart here, and Bitcoin, it did close a week below my arc right here. So I'm kind of like looking at that as maybe this is not ready to blast off towards the 128,000 just yet either. So that top of the arc here is right around 115. We'll just round out 500. 115, 500 is the target to get back above. And so far, it hasn't even gone above 115. Overnight, it only got up to 114,995. So maybe this is going to be some kind of resistance. And if that is resistance, then what sits below? Well, what sits below is that bottom arc, which is around 110, 109.8. And what else is around there? Well, that's the Ichimoku conversion line, which is around 110.738. So wicking below that, going back down there. Also, that's the previous high, the 109.300 zone back in January. So back testing that zone could be a possibility before going higher. But when I look at everything else with a lot of the altcoins, they look like they hit their bottoming process. So I'm not too convinced that altcoins need to go down too much further because they've been going down since maybe July 20th, like a couple of weeks already. So I think we could be in a bottoming process for altcoins, just like IWM, while Bitcoin might need to consolidate a little bit more. So that could be a bullish scenario for the risk on stuff as well. So with that, let's just take a look at Tesla. I'll also take a look at Palantir since they report today. Tesla back inside the range here, between the 295 and 321. We can go to Tesla here on the weekly chart of my log scale, and we can see it actually looks like it's probably going to open a new week, maybe right above the baseline and the 50-week moving average again. So yeah, it did close the week below it, but you know what? It's 1 week doesn't reverse a trend really. Just got to pay attention to the overall trend, and so far that's higher. And so far we can see that it's a bunch of higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And I guess they're gonna approve his comp package is what I read out there. I don't know. Wasn't reading too much on X this morning, but I think I did skim through something about that. But it's never a guarantee out there. They could always, the Delaware judge could just reverse everything again, I'm sure, right? We'll see.
It's just a circus.
Yeah. And let's see, Palantir, they are reporting today. So here it is. Is it going to break above my GAN level right there, which is at 160? I showed a video of this on Friday with the Tesla Palantir weekly update, along with Coinbase and everything else. And this is a big resistance zone, right? Not only is it this GAN level, but it's the 1.618 log-based fib, right? I had that fib on there earlier, but I'll just put it back on right now. Yeah, from the 2021 high to the low down here, it is the 1.618 log-based fib. So it's multiple confluence of resistance with a GAN level and that. So is it ready to burst through and go higher? Well, it's already had a huge melt up. So I think it's time to be a little bit cautious at this big zone, right? This is a big fib level for any chart.
Bollinger Bands.
The Bollinger Bands.
Show us your Bollinger Bands.
Well, the weekly is still.
Oh, see, look, it's got room. It could keep going.
Yeah, 169. And the monthly chart, it's still it's actually opening the new month finally underneath it again, just like it did last month. But last month closed above it as well, and the upper band is around that 163. But this is all showing to me that don't need to be too greedy during this time, because this is a big fib number for any chart, not just Palantir.
Yeah, so if you want to get greedy and play earnings on something, pick something that's at lows, like big lows, not big highs.
Yeah, this is something. If you're buying up here before earnings for an earnings play, that's just being greedy. Yeah. there's a lot of back tests that happened along the way before it got there. So yeah, I'll be cautious with that tracker to you.
All right, I just want to show you guys Bitcoin again here. Oh, let's see. Am I sharing the right screen? Am I sharing my screen at all? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so here is, push this button right there. I was just kind of messing around with these. I'm just going to delete that. But you can see right here, Bitcoin did run up. These are hourly candlesticks, 1 hour candlesticks. Runs up to about 123,000. If you remember, for the longest time, well, it felt like a long time. Where is it? Right here. 112,000 even. It was 112 exactly was the top. And then we just spent a lot of time kind of testing down this way. And oh, look, this one wicked down almost to the top of this one right there. And what happened is this weekend we did it again. If you just, I'll direct your attention to 112,000 top right there, exactly. And then the low we just hit yesterday. And if I pull this horizontal line between the two, it's almost a perfect match. It did wick just slightly below yesterday, but then ran right back up. And look, we're way up here now, hours later. So I think I'm calling this the bottom. Just like last time here, this wick kind of touched the top of that. Now this wick touched the top of that. We basically broke out of 112,000, went to 123,000, back to 112,000. And so now we can go to something even higher than 123,000. And I was telling people on X here, no, I'm sorry. I told just my supporters this, but I'll tell you guys now. Because when you go back, if there's when I draw, here, I'll just do this real quick. You probably have seen me do this before. Whenever you have a wave 1 and a wave 2, and then I'm drawing the 5 subwaves after that, say 764, 382, 1382, 100, 2382. Right here, there's always a gap between the wave 4 bottom and the wave 1 top of the wave 1 of subwave It's wave 3, subwave 1. There's always a gap right here. And guess what? If there's no gap here or here yet, we haven't even hit wave 3 top yet. We're still anywhere in here, somewhere in here. Probably, I think this was probably, well, let's see. It's more like a 382-114, 1236, 764 situation. So like this was the December, January high. Let's just look at the, here, let me pull this way over here. Have a cleaner screen to look at. All right. So just imagine this is 2023. Here's 2024 in December, January, and then the first quarter of 2025. And then here's your April 7th low right here. And then we just hit this much. It was pretty sharp, actually, a pretty sharp mid-July high. And then the August 1st low right there. You are here. This is our preview of what we're going to talk about in the Triumvirate show tomorrow night. But I just want to get this off my chest and let you guys know. I guess we're practice saying it. You're here. And now the heart of the wave 3 is about to begin. So there you go. As awful as your portfolios might feel from last Friday, I think it's going to get a lot better sooner. And there you go. That's all. That's basically all I wanted to say about Bitcoin. And that applies to, whenever, I've said this before too in the past, whenever Bitcoin runs, Tesla usually likes to follow along with it. They have a weird, you have either something causal or, gosh darn it, my brain this morning. Anyway, you have a relationship that's not causal. It's the other one. It just correlates. They kind of follow along with each other. One doesn't cause the other, but they kind of move together. So as Bitcoin goes, so may Tesla. And that's my Tesla analysis as well. Otherwise, my Tesla chart just looks like the same as I've been showing you. And Matt's been showing you higher, low, ever since $214 down here. Higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. It's still higher lows, even with this one. So eventually we'll see 420.69. And then whenever Tesla price gets too close to 1,000, Elon says, I think the stock price is too high. And people start to freak out. Like, what does he mean? And what he meant last time was like, he's going to split the stock. And then they split it enough so that the price is down here in like the 200s again. And they get to do the run to 420.69 all over again. And that's my favorite Tesla cycle right there. All right, back to you, Matt. Where shall we begin today's show? Where shall we start the requests?
I'll start off with Rocket Lab. A lot of people asking about Galaxy as well, so let's see. Rocket Lab, yeah, so it closed last week below this 45.21, the 1.414 fib extension right here. So does that mean it needs to go lower? It might, right? And I had a big run, so I actually don't ever care about the breakout. I care about the back test, and now it's starting to get in that range, right? So the 45.21 down towards the angle here is looking like the appropriate range, which is around 38. 38 or so, and that's just a breakout, so we could go a little bit lower before higher. Also, there's a potential of back testing the 1.272 as well, 34.95. So it had a huge run, right? So it broke above the blue GAN level, just kept on melting higher, went straight up to the 45.21. So I'm not really expecting a continuation right now. I'm just expecting more of a consolidation, just trending sideways to down before it's ready to go higher. So I think my minimum target really is going to be that $38, $39 zone. And best case scenario gets down to the 34.95. For that back test. So this is a healthy chart, right? But it just probably needs more time to get more bullish in order to get up to the 65.45 in the future. So that could take some time. But in the meantime, I see a pullback right there. And Galaxy, GLXY, we can see that this chart did also close below some levels there, the 886, the 2777. So where would support be on this chart? Well, we can put on the Ichimoku and everything else and just take a look at that conversion line is down there at 25.29. And we'll see if that really needs to be hit. Because if it can't get back above the 27.77, then that's going to be a resistance again. And then, yeah, maybe it's going to need to go back down to the 25. If we put the linear scale fibs on here just to take a look, we can also see that it closed below the linear scale 702, which is at 2740. So that is also just a resistance sign that perhaps it does need a little bit more consolidation ahead. But we can see that actually pre-market prices at 2745. It looks like it has a chance to open a candle back above it. So if it can stabilize on top of that 2740, then perhaps it does not need to go back to the 2025. So I'm really watching the linear scale, I think, the most right now, just to see if it can stabilize on top of that 2740 throughout the week. And if so, then probably can continue back to that 27, what is that log to? 2777. And I think that's just the range of resistance right now. And until it can prove to me that it can close a week back above, I'm not convinced it wants to break out higher just yet. So I kind of see more consolidation ahead, but what I'm focused on the most is this 2740. And if that can't hold, then it's going to be the 25s or 24s back below. All right, Tracker.
I just want to do Galaxy real quick too. I've got this one. I bought it. I bought a bunch of Galaxy up here at 20. What's in the way? $28.25 is my cost. On the, I just want to show you my logarithmic fib retracement. So it goes. The top was 38. The bottom was 41 cents here. So 41 to 38, and then it came back down to the 382 here at $2.31, and now it's making its way up. What'd be interesting would be to see a back test of the 886 at 2267. It would feel awful in the linear scale, but in log scale, it does seem to make sense as you get real close here. Maybe just wants to do one touch of this blue fib before it goes on higher to the 127, 141. Well, I might get stuck at this one. What's the one I used now? Template, TGF. No. Don't do that. What did I do? Anyway, there's like 129 or what's it called? Oh, it's the 11618. Here, let me just put it right here. 1.1618. It's the 1618, but like a tenth of it. So maybe it gets stuck at 79.10 before, in other words, I mean, that's great. That'll be a great run from 22.69 to 79.10. Anyway, that would be a back test of the 886. And then, but also I did pull this channel right here from this low to this low and using this high. It kind of, price action is sort of following the dashed line in the middle of the channel. And so what if this the middle of the channel is where the support needs to go? It almost hit it already, but just maybe it needs more time. As Matt said, consolidation. So maybe it does go to like 25.65 around towards like the mid-August or last week of mid-August or the third week of August. But then I see a lot higher for Galaxy. Anyway, this is on Cat's list for it could go Palantiring. All right, I was going to do, let's see, this Caspa, is that a crypto? No one ever covers Cas?
Yeah, I was gonna do the Caspa one.
I'm going to do, I had one. Well, let's just do ACHR because I covered that one so much in the past. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's loading. Yeah, ACHR. Look, on the weekly chart with the Bollinger Bands on, it tested the moving average 21 on log scale. So that's it. It's probably hit support right here in the log scale, the center of the Bollinger Bands, and is ready to go higher. Let's see. This was wrong. Did not stop at 10 and 18. But yeah, I'm still looking for, probably wants to go to 1626 next from here. So that is about 77% higher from our prices right now. So yeah, ACHR looks like it's a lot of stuff really did hit its bottom. Here it is on linear scale, and it's basically just did an extended wider flat of the wave 2, and it made this consolidation triangle right here. So it's on the bottom of it now. I mean, actually, the triangle was right here. It respected this until it tricks you by plunging through what do you call it? You look at the triangle. It creates a trend, trend, and then it breaks the trend. Last thing it does before it runs to the upside, and that's how they fool you. And if I'm wrong, then it goes all the way down here to the bottom side, around 645 for this 11.4. But I think it could hold. It just, what it really needs to do? It needs to get over this 50% linear scale fib at $9.93. So bullish above 993. Still kind of wait and see if it's while it's stuck below 993. It's currently 964, so you don't have to long to wait. All right, there's ACHR. And then Lunar, and I'm going to pass it back to you, Matt, after Lunar here. Lunar, Intuitive Machines. I like this one. Again, on the log scale chart, the Bollinger Band has begun to kind of squeezy here. And it's kind of already broken out and back tested the moving average 21 here. And, I think it looks good. I think I'm expecting it to go to, on the linear scale, this 123.6 fib after having done the 382236 right here, right? 382236 is done. Oh, no, it didn't really do 382236. Let me put this back. That's close enough. So anyway, look for it to break out higher than 1448 and then run to 3314. If you're not in it and you want to trade it, you could just wait. You could wait until it gets over 1448 and then ride it up to $30 or $33. So that's 121%. Like, you don't have to risk your neck. You don't have to stick your neck out now to do it. But if you're in it, just hang on to it because I think you're going to be fine. All right, that's Lunar. Back to you, Matt.
I'll do the Caspa chart right here. So let's take a look. So here's Caspa, and I do have some fibs on here with the Ichimoku conversion baseline, and it actually did close the week back below all that support. So I'm not really convinced that it wants to continue the journey up higher just yet. So we got the 0.089 as a resistance, along with the conversion and the baseline right around the current or the same price, around the 0.89 and the 0.9. So if that can't break above in the weeks to come, then perhaps another back test of the 236 is in order there at the 0.072. So it's just range bound, trying to keep on finding higher lows. And yes, that still would be a higher low from the before. So it's just a slow process of trying to get more and more bullish, but it might just take more time. So let's watch that 9-cent barrier. If it can break above, then great. Maybe a continuation higher. But if not, then perhaps it's going to go drift a little lower first before continuing higher. Let's also do HEMS as well, because we see that HEMS is reporting on Monday or today, right? They report today. Yeah. And it's up 2% pre-market. But it closed below resistance, and that resistance is 64.05, and even pre-market, it's below that 64.05. So the last few times it hit that zone, what happened? Well, it kind of sold off massively before. I mean, this last time was a lot more shallow than the time before, but if there is a sell-off, then yeah, it could even go back down to the arc again, maybe around 54 before trying to break out. So it's basically range bound. It's a volatile stock. It is at resistance now, so I'm always cautious at resistance, and it's not guaranteed to break out. And there was a long wick up top, did not make a higher high as well, still lower highs. So that kind of implies that, yeah, we'll just wait and see. Just got to be cautious, because the chance to really be bullish at support was down here. It gave you a whole month to do it, around the 46.64, a whole month to be bullish at support. But now that people are looking at it before earnings, they want to be speculative and say, hey, I want to jump in. Well, now I'm going to be cautious up here, because it gave you opportunities to already be entering the stock if you're not in it already. So we'll see. But I don't really play earnings anyways. I play the chart, and the chart is telling me to be cautious until there's proof otherwise. All right, Tracker, back to you.
I'm looking at this Atkore, ATKR. I'm trying to figure out, should I use this wick or not? I think I'll ignore that wick. That's just that wick is nutty right there. It goes down to like 1058. So looking back here on the log scale chart, I just pulled a retracement fib from this low 1417, pretty much would be the all-time low except for this crazy wick, to the all-time high of $194.98, which means on the log scale fibs on the left, price did a perfect almost perfect, a nigh perfect back test up to the 50% level, 52.56. It went a little bit lower, 49.92, recovered it, and then the fibs on the right here are linear scale fibs that I just simply went from the all-time high to the lowest it got down here at 49.92. And so you've heard me say many times, I usually just look for a standard retrace would be like 38.2%, 23.6, and then 61.8%. And so that's still what my target is, 382, 236, 618 there. And you can see that the 618 here comes almost to test this 886. And so if it does do like just, I've been noticing is a lot of times it doesn't actually come to 618. I'm always expecting 618, but what it really does is it comes up almost to the 702. And here's why. It just depends on how these fibs are on this side. I think it's going to come right up to this 144.61 for this wave C. And then it'll consolidate back down. And that because that means it couldn't get over the 886 the very first time, or maybe it does go to the 618, which means it avoids testing it the first time, has to consolidate back down, and then make a run at the 886. I guess I'll just leave this alone then. So anyway, your wave A target is 39% higher from where price is right now. Comes back to 84.15, and then we'll test 139.57 or 65.5% higher from the wave B bottom. And here's what it looks like on linear scale, almost exactly the same, really. And you can see it's pushing up on the Bollinger Band, but not exceeding it, so it's doing pretty well. Just a nice, slow, nice, steady gain here for ATK or Atkore. And then I did ACHR. Should I do MVast? I could do MVast. Microvast Holdings. Oh my gosh. It did something weird with my fibs here. Oh no, I think I tell you guys, my drawings don't predict timing. I just try to draw it so that you can see the stuff on this all on one screen. And just as this takes longer to go, I have to keep pushing everything over to the right. But let's see. Was I trying to predict a bottom? No, this is a weekly 16-hour. No, it did. I was trying to predict a bottom. I thought maybe it might go to 246, and actually did better than that. So our larger degree wave 2 bottom is actually right here at 253. And so if I just stack this right there, maybe I should be a little less. It seems the flavor of the 2025 is more like 382.236. So let's do that. Just do a quick from this wave 2 bottom, 382.236, 1236, 764.2236. Or if it does start to get real hot, maybe it goes to 618.382. But for now, let's just see what happens. 425 is your next resistance target, or is my next resistance target, I should say, for MVast. And here you can see it did drop below my 16-hour Bollinger Bands. I'm sorry, it's so small. It dropped below the Bollinger Bands, which means it's primed for a big move up, and the RSI is kind of bottom down here as well. So yeah, look for let's see, in percentages. I'm going to give this back to you, Matt, after this. From here to the 382, about 49% higher to $4.25 for Microvast. All right, Matt, take it away.
Yeah, let's take a look at some other charts here. I see MSTR. I already did the update on Friday about MSTR, so if you guys want to look at that, just go ahead and take a look.
Yeah, you guys, if you don't subscribe, you need to subscribe to Matt and absolutely make sure you see that Friday end of week coverage that he does. It's gold.
Yeah, just it's public for everybody. It's on YouTube, so if you guys want to watch it, it's there.
Yeah, subscribe to that.
But yeah, there's no change since that. I see a Mara request, so I'll do that one right here. And Mara, it's looking like it's trying to stabilize right around that baseline support, and that's 1566, and pre-market is a little bit above it. So getting back above it is a good thing. So we're going to just keep watching that level. And essentially, what happened was it tried to maintain this all major support zone, but it still needed more liquidity below. But in the grand scheme of things, from the bottom here, it's just higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So it is trending higher since the bottom in April. And yes, this is still a higher low from back in June as well. So it's not too concerning. It's just not ready to break this big resistance zone yet of the 45-degree angle of this 618 fib here at 1955 right there. And so it just went down to get more liquidity. But this week, yeah, I'll be watching that baseline right around 1572 as a potential support. But it's just lagging behind some of the other ones, like not as bullish as iron, but it still has great possibility to break out one of these weeks. But I think it just needs more time, just like a lot of altcoins need more time. And let's take a look here at, let's see, UMAC.
Oh, I'm ready to UMAC, but you could do it too.
No, I just wanted to look at it because
Yeah.
he was talking about is the bottom end. Well, it might be, right? I think the one thing I can do is just a fib right here is from the previous top to the bottom, and it's actually trying to stabilize above that 1.272 fib extension right there at 887, and pre-market it is 905. It did close below it last week, so it's going to be important to take a look at that 887 for the rest of the week. But as you can see by this chart, it's just stuck in between two fibs, the 1135 and that 885. So that's just the battle. Whatever one breaks is probably the direction it's going to go. And if it does break that 885, there is that 50-week moving average below 730s or even the $5 range. But I think what we're seeing is a massive breakout. Now we're consolidating sideways, and we already did backtest the previous 2024 high. So perhaps it's not necessary to go back down there. So yeah, I think it is trying to get more bullish, but it's probably going to stay range bound for some time until it's ready to break out. So that's my observation of it. So until it gets above this weekly Ichimoku cloud right here, which is around 1238, then it's just going to be stuck in a range. All right, Tracker, back to you.
Thanks. Okay, so as I said, I was also going to do UMAC. And this is what I see for a lot of charts, a lot of the tech charts that we love to cover, right? You have this enormous wave one, wave two, and look, this is December of 2024. And then here's the first quarter of 2025. And the bottom here is April 7th. And then the high, the higher, the wave, the miter wave one goes up July 15th, July 17th, actually, and then drops down the low we just had on Friday. So I think a lot of things have had their larger degree wave one, wave two, and this was just completing the smaller wave one, wave two. And now we're going into the larger wave three for a lot of these tech stocks and stuff. So anyway, unusual machines, let's see, I need to adjust this a little bit. It did go even a little bit lower. I was predicting a 382.236. We got a little deeper than the 23.6% fib. It came all the way down to here. And, you know, it tested what was previously the 702, right? When I looked at, where's this one from? You know what? I'm not sure. I might have been messing around with something in there. Anyway, ignore that. But yeah, 382 more than 236 is fine. Maybe we get a little more than 123.6 on the other side. So it's like the oscillation. If it goes a little deeper down here at the wave two bottom, it might go a little higher at the wave three top as well. And so it'd be really nice if it went to 35.64 instead of 34.44. Let me just go ahead and move that right to there. So that means that from our prices right now, this wave three would take UMAC 295% higher to 35.64 for all of wave three. So there you go. You know, very bullish on techie stuff like this. I was going to do, and so this is, I just need to look at this real quick. One of you asked, really interesting, is Roblox Palantiring? And let me just see if I can see that or not real quick. Actually, go back to you, Matt. I'm gonna analyze this when it's not my turn.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the last one I'm gonna do too. I was gonna do Roblox as well, but
Oh, I'm
uh,
sorry. Matt and I
no,
are
no,
we're both drawn to the same thing today.
no.
You know what? I'll do. It's still on my screen. I'll do CONL.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Matt does coin, but I do CONL as well. This is the 2x ETF of Coinbase, and you can see it went just like it went hotter to the upside than the Bollinger Band. It also went hotter to the, or I guess you could say colder to the bottom side of the Bollinger Band. It just means more oscillation, just means more energy, which means now my wave 3 target might be a little higher than. Let's see, it did a 764 more than 382, so it might go more than 1382 on the right side. Though my 141 on the retrace is still right about there. I don't know. Let's just see how this works out. But from where price is right now, um, I'm looking for about 255%, 256% higher to the wave 3 top, around 128.92. Um, it could jump to 144? Maybe no. Let's just stick around. So I got 126 on the left, 128 on the right. Let's just stick with that. That's you don't have to be. Don't chase the tails. Just get the meat of your trade in. If you're swinging, just get the meat of the trade in, and then hold on to your profits. Like I forgot to do back here, where Connell ran up to like 60. Gosh, in the $70 or so. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, so I'm just going to finish off with the Roblox. Is it really Palantirian? Well, kind of, right? It's breaking out massively, and it's back above the 886. So that's one of the requirements right there to break above it and try to get a lot more bullish. So here we are. 114.31, stay above that, and it'll have the chance to break all-time highs and then continue to the fib extensions above, which could be in the 200s, the 300s, or even 400s above. So yeah, it has that potential to be there, but mind you, it had a massive run already, so I think it could be consolidating in between these arcs maybe for a while before continuing the journey higher. So I won't be too excited at this current range, the 130s, 140s. That seems like a pretty big resistance. We did get a very, very big wick already after it reached all-time high territory last week. So let's just watch 114, right? Stay above it. It'll have a chance to get more bullish. And with that, I think that's the end of our show today. So we'll see you guys tomorrow and also Triumvirate tomorrow too. So,
Yeah, a very special Triumvirate show where it's gonna be a hot one, so don't miss it.
very, very nice. Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts, Tracker?
No, just that I think you're going to see, just like last week was an awful, like, nail biting. If you're watching your stocks go down, week today is going to feel a lot more exuberant, elated. I mean, Matt thinks it could go. It depends on what sector you're looking at, right? So if you're looking at the SPY itself, it could keep going sideways. It could test down. QQQ could test down lower. Maybe crypto front ran all the action that the SPY is about to see this week. But if you're in crypto uh, and crypto based assets, I think it's going to be a wonderful week. So just take today off, because hopefully all this is going to do is recover, but it's not going to go anywhere near where you wouldn't want to sell anything. So that's it. Take Monday off.
Yep.
That's my recommendation.
All right, guys. With that, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yep. Thanks, Matt. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.